Hello, this is Mr. Stein, and in this video we're going to go over the questions from Mastery Items Week 11C. Question number 1. Add or subtract these two variable equations vertically. Okay, we can add and subtract equations together. And the easiest way to do that is to line them up vertically like you're adding numbers in elementary school. But it is important that the equations are sorted in the same orders. So you can see here in both of these equations we have our x, then we have our y, then we have equals some number. Okay, so we are going to add these up. So we take our first equation, 3x plus 2y equals 4. And then we're going to add to that equation 4x plus 1y equals 5. And then we're just going to add them together. Add them together place-wise. 4 plus 5 is 9. 2y plus 1y is 3y. And 4x plus 3x is 7x. There's our answer to adding them together. Now, why do we do this? Well, when we get into Chapter 7, we're going to use this skill to help us find out where two equations are equal to each other. So we're just learning the skill now. The application of the skill will come later. Now, likewise, we can subtract. So long as they're in the same order, let's put these together in the same, check to see. They're both in the same order. So let's write the top one first. 5x plus 2y equals 1. And then from that one, we are going to subtract 3x plus 2y equals 5. All right. What is 1 take away 5? Minus 4. What's 2y take away 2y? Right, we do take away in each place. So 2y take away 2y is 0 y's. So we made the y's disappear in this one. That's actually a good thing. What's 5x take away 3x? 2x. So our final answer is 2x plus 0y equals minus 4. All right, question number 2. The formula E equals mc squared is a very famous formula. So we went over this last time, remembering that the speed of light is always 300 million meters per second. So in our first one, we know what our energy is. We don't know what our mass is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my original formula, E equals mc squared, and I'm going to isolate my mass by dividing both sides by c squared. C squared on top, c squared on bottom are going to cancel out, and I know that mass is equal to my energy divided by c squared. So I take my energy, which is 6.3 times 10 to the 20, divided by c squared. Sorry, I'm going to write in the number. Divided by 300 million squared. I'm going to get my mass. Now, I'm going back to my calculator where I have 300 million, 6.3 times 10 to the 20. So I type in my top number, 6.3 times 10 to the power of 20. Looks like that. I can see on my right side that it works. And I divide that by 300 million squared. And I get 7,000 as my answer. So in this calculator, I've programmed in so that anytime I type in C, that's equal to 300 million. So 7,000 is equal to our mass. All right, letter B. We know our mass. We're asked to find our energy. So let's write out our formula. Energy equals mc squared. So our energy is equal to 0.05 times 300 million. It's a big number, squared. So I'm going over to my calculator and I type in 0.05 times c squared. And I get 4.5 times 10 to the 15. 4.5 times 10 to the power of 15. Right? A little mass gives you a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy to give you some mass. All right, number 3. Determine the volume of a square-based pyramid that has a slant height of 4 meters and a length of 6 meters. Little bit of a problem here. We've got a slant height this time. Our formula for volume requires the perpendicular height. So let's go and let's figure out the perpendicular height. So I'm going to sketch out a pyramid. Hey, that's not a bad pyramid. And I know I'm trying to figure out my perpendicular height here. I know my slant height is 4 meters. And I know my total length is 6 meters. I'm going to put that in blue. It's 6 meters here, which means that this is 3 meters. Now I'm trying to figure out my height. So I'm going to use a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. My c is 4, so 4 squared. A squared plus 3 squared. So a squared plus 9 equals 16. So a squared is equal to 7. So a is equal to the square root of 7. And I'm just going to leave it as the square root of 7 right now, because I don't want to write out decimal numbers. So my perpendicular height, is equal to the square root of 7 meters. All right, so now to figure out the volume, we do our length times width times height divided by 3 because it comes to a point. So our volume is going to be equal to 6 times square root of 7 divided by 3. Now it's all multiplication on the top, so I can do some canceling on the top and the bottom. I can cancel this 3 and make it a 1, as long as I take this 6 and turn it into a 2. Divided something on the top and the bottom by 3. So my final answer for my volume is going to be 2 times 6 times square root 7, or my volume is equal to 12 square root 7. And I believe that's in cubic meters. Meters cubed. That is the exact value. If I want to do my decimal approximation, I can always do 12 times the square root of 7 is equal to 31.7 meters cubed. All right, I hope that was helpful for you. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below or contact me directly, and thank you for watching.